ありがとうございます。Good morning, everybody, again. My name is Dr. Kazuko Tatsumura. I think it's in kind of towards the end of the booklet, my thing is listed. And I have been many times invited to European and South American congresses of this kind of type. And I have had incredible experiences is teaching doctors. And success story about cancer, my method is 90%. And it works with stage 3 for any kind of working with it. If you try very hard to exactly imitate what I do. And then today, I want to tell you, it started with far-infrared. Far-infrared is a sun energy, but I choose only 8 to 10 microns, very top of NASA's discovery of healing power of far-infrared. Very top one, 8 to 10. Many of the things in the market is not 8 to 10, it's 5 to 25. So I started with that, and then nobody knew about far-infrared at that time. Now I'm including something called TeraHertz. TeraHertz is a very high frequency, which is very similar to the far-infrared between microwave and color spectrum. So these two combination has never been accomplished, but it really comes together with this narrow spectrum of between microwave and sunlight, visible light. So because of that, it has been triple times successful with effect of cancer healing. So what is I call it Onnetsu vibration therapy. And it's a vibration of the far-infrared and TeraHertz. Have you ever heard of TeraHertz? Can you raise a hand? TeraHertz. TeraHertz.
How is that spelled?
TeraHertz. Can you show my slide or not? So these combinations have never been done. I'm patenting it, and it's already here in my machine, but it's going to be even more better machines. The new one, which is not production, is like this, but it will take 2 years probably to accomplish this. And the TeraHertz is the one that I should talk about because far-infrared, it seems everybody knows. Can you raise far-infrared? Who knows? Yes, almost everybody. 20 years ago, nobody knew. It's like today, I am repeating something 15, 20 years ago. So TeraHertz comes from the deep down earth. I get that stone from Aso mountain, Aso volcano. And this has the incredible healing capacity. And we make it like this. And this is a vibration of very high frequency. And the combination with far-infrared and TeraHertz is unbelievable. So it goes directly to whatever it's called spot. That oh, I'm sorry. Where's the? Where's the? My engineer made this something like this from this. And of course, there's no heat, but you put the ice on it, immediately melts. Immediately melts. No heat. Oh, thank you. So, Onnetsu means comfortable heat. This is my many places I went for speaking about this. Now, this was first Onnetsu International Conference in Cuba. And I taught 78 doctors, mostly oncologists, because success story was big. So Dr. Zeltsucha, all 40 final stage 4 cancer people, 40, 38 of them in 3 weeks eradicated cancer. And one of this is a very easy to understand. Was that they all said he's going to die in 2 days. Now, this is 1 week later, and then the right is 3 weeks later. He is very, very healthy right now. So, no, this is a technical part of it, so I'm going to skip. So I'm going to explain quickly what it is about vibration medicine, and then about the heat, and about balance. Okay, this is vibration, sunlight vibration, precise 8 to 10. Now, as I said, many of the product, it say, is 5 to 24. It's not so precise, not like mine. So this is the old chart, but it said 5, you see 8 to 14. I used to use 8 to 14. Now I only use 8 to 10. So look at this one. This is a Infra-Red plate. This is a regular plate, ceramic. And then one Infra-Red one, of course there's no electricity, no heat. You see, start moving, vibrating, start moving, and very quickly melt. And this one stays as is, and pink one stays as is. So this is what it does, the Infra-Red vibration. But I went further to include the TeraHertz. You see how moving, dancing? It is incredible vibration is doing it, and it's very quickly melt. No heat added. So this is how I make this plate. And anyhow, this is what everybody can see. How it is TeraHertz is in a round yellow circle, but far infrared is exactly almost the same area, microwave and visible ray. But far infrared I am using is only 8 to 10 microns, but this one corresponds with TeraHertz. And then I am using only top of the NASA, what NASA said. NASA said in the 1960s, 5 to 24 micron is far infrared. And patented in Japan is only 5 to 24. But most of the things in the market is 5 to 24. So you don't be fooled when somebody is saying this has far infrared. Of course it has far infrared, it's part of infrared, but never is exact like the way that I am doing. So we have this far infrared and TeraHertz going onto the skin, and it goes deep inside to the molecules of water level, 30 centimeter, 12 feet, almost 12, 10 to 12 feet, 12 inches down. And then they start vibrating the bottom cells. And so you understand this? Yeah, okay. Now next, this nobody forgot about him. 3,000 years ago he said this. And he became, of course, God of the medicine. But what happened with this idea? Nobody knows. There are some attempts, but nobody knows. And the Japanese, instead of knowing this, Japanese had 5,000 years of tradition of heating body. The negative cells, a negative spot in the body is cold. Therefore, you have to heat this area. This is what the Japanese traditional idea is. So I discovered Hippocrates said that 3,000 years ago, and nobody paid attention. So when you have a temperature, body temperature is low, it goes like this. Your immune system is low, everything is bad. So cancer cells are cold. When you put Onnetsuki on your body, where the cancer cells are, people say, ouch, it's hot. But that's a cold spot, extremely cold spot. It's on the skin. Okay, this is it. When you slide this onto the machine, onto the body, and you find the cancer spot, the patient helps me to say, ouch. So that's where the cancer cell is, at the bottom. And then you keep sending the incredible energy of infrared and the heat, then it improves a lot. So this is what we are, ouch reaction, we call it. Ouch is hot ouch, it's like a burning ouch, but it is ouch because it's cold. I have my machine 70 centigrade. And the cancer, I find the cancer separated from diabetic or any rheumatoid arthritis because cancer cell, these tails of pain or heat. So we can differentiate cancer very clearly. Oh, this is tuberculosis, but it's like a tapo. I never can see tadpole, tails of tadpole. In other words, heat lasts longer. And I count these tails, and then you can tell how strong the cancer cell is. Burning sensation. Okay. So I should stop. Okay. So this is something I did with the Tibetan children of tuberculosis. They all, without tuberculosis, they were 10 days, 11 days. These are healthy now. So third is a balance. We have to do the balance of in white cells. And this is very famous Dr. Abo, who was nominated for, he died last December, was killed mysteriously. But anyhow, it's not mysterious. He went against all these cancer clinics. So he's Torapos theory. In the white cells, 60% granulocyte and 35 lymphocyte. That is ratio. If you have a white cell blood test and the white cells are 60 and 30%, 35%, it's healthy. And this is what I have experienced. This lady was dying in 2 days and had started lots of cancers, about 100 different places. So when she came, it was 86% granulocyte. In 2 weeks, she came 67%. And then in third week, she came 61%. Lymphocyte was only 37.2%. And second week, after 2 weeks, 22%. And the third week, she was almost healthy ratio in the red over there. So she became very, 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 after 1 month after that, she became completely well. It was a miracle. And this was my experience. So I think this is a kind of a spot, you find a hot spot. but you have to be training. Okay, so the fourth is this how you have flow in energy. So I'm not going to go into this. This is advanced classes. So maybe next year I'll do advanced classes. This year I did only basic yesterday. So I'm going to stop here. There's so much more, but I'm going to stop here.
Okay, let's start here with the panel.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a little bit of problem to relate or compare thermography, a diagnostic process which is based upon emission of body heat, with what you are saying here. It seems that thermography will show elevated regions in the body that are really abnormal. How does that, how could you explain that?
Thermography is very general. My method is point out exactly where it was. And then thermography is fine, but it is not general, it is not pinpointed. Like the machine would say, when it goes here, patients will say, ouch. So you know that this is a spot. And thermography, yes, agree, but it's more bigger.
Thank you very much. It took me about 2 years to get clearance with NASA, but for you can apply and get clearance, and they're doing photon, far infrared therapy, and have been, but the public's unaware of it. And just apply and just keep calling, and they'll take you in, and you'll get to see their secrets.
NASA said this in 1960, early 60s, saying that there is in the sunlight, there's a certain area of infrared has a healing capacity. We call it far infrared. This is early 1960s. Japanese took on this. Americans did not pay any attention. Nobody paid attention. It took them 15 years to get this range to bake in 18 minerals. 18 minerals together in baking and make a ceramic. And this is patented in Japan, whether NASA or not, patented in Japan. And this is like a 1980s, early 15 years it took. But NASA never said anything to me that you cannot do this.
This is absolutely fascinating and exciting. I have a very simple question. Did you say that the infrared will go into the body 12 inches?
Please don't say infrared. Infrared is 0 to 1,000 vibration. For infrared, I'm using is 8 to 10. And then because of this, and then because of TeraHertz application, it goes very deep inside. And then it reaches all the cells and level of water level. And then, as I said, to 40 cancer patients, stage 4 only, 40 cancer patients, did this therapy 3 weeks in Cuba. And 38 of them completely eradicated cancer in 3 weeks. And then 4 weeks later, they are all happy and healthy. Of course, they don't have money to buy oncology, chemotherapy, very expensive money. So therefore, they did only this. And this was a very big success. That's why I'm saying 90% success. The two of them.
Yes, doctor, you can't, and neither can I, argue with success. My question is, have you compared thermography with your method? That may be a very refined way to diagnose, but can you see a comparison?
Okay. Thermography is excellent to point out areas of coldness, but mine point out exact spot of cancer, and then that's different.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? We'll start over here. We don't have time for a lot of them, but
I'll try to make this quick. Look, I'm a little confused. We just watched a show called Zapped, which seems to talk about microwave radiation getting into your body, doing all kinds of horrible things. How is your high-frequency terahertz radiation going down 12 inches? How's that physiologically therapeutic when I'm being warned all these other shows about how bad it is?
what's the difference between the energy that you're using and the spectrum that you're using and what we learned about over the weekend with microwave electromagnetic frequencies?
This is beyond the microwave and beyond the visible light. There's a called TeraHertz gap. There's something which is in between this microwave and the visible light. This is not much.
So this is not microwave.
Not at all.
But physical, so far as your body record, you're telling me that there's a notch filter where your body responds positively to high frequencies. There's a notch filter, there's a range of frequencies. There's a range of frequencies your body responds to positively as opposed to negatively, and that's the range of frequencies you found. Why should it physiologically work on one set of frequencies and be bad on another?
I don't hear because of this.
Okay, he's asking about the microwaves that power cell phones, Wi-Fi, and the frequency of the spectrum that you're using. Why is one harmful and the other helpful?
Because microwave is, as you know, all very harmful area. But it's before microwave. I am using between starting microwave radiation and starting the color radiation. We have it's called TeraHertz gap, and far-infrared gap. This is a spot. NASA said 5 to 24 microns of infrared is very beneficial for health. This is 1960s. Who heard it at that time? Early 60s.
So we can summarize. The microwave radiation
is harmful.
Is that what she's talking about is a different frequency?
Different.
That provides.
I get that, but you understand physiologically we're still talking about microwave radiation getting into your body and somehow scattering and doing all this kind of attractive stuff that engineering stuff does. I'm just kind of curious as to why one set of frequencies are good for you and other frequencies
we are not using microwave.
Right. I think the same thing you could say, you can look at it, water is good. Water is good and necessary. Some water has things in it that are bad. For instance, when the dental community encourages people to put hazardous waste in the water and call it fluoride, that makes that water bad and harmful. But you take that out and it's good.
Other than a frequency change, that's all I'm hearing, but it's still the same dynamic on what something that's in your body.
No. We are using special technique of getting 8 to 10 microns only.
Any comment from?
We care about frequency.
No,
that's the whole point.
Excuse me. What she's talking about is light spectrum, not electromagnetic. Light spectrum.
Excuse me. I don't take this one because.
Okay.
Why are you argue all the sunlights are bad? That's not the case. You're asking questions. I am telling you microwave area is bad.
Tom, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's like magic, I'm asking you, can you give a breakdown the type of cancer you treat in Cuba? 38 cases heal from what type of cancer?
Oh, it works with every cancer. They especially choose the 4-stage cancer people of different kinds. Yes.
Okay, we have time we only have time for about
40.
another question or two.
Dr. Kazuko, this
Yes.
is Robert Carrillo. I'm with Cancer Tutor. Thank you for your presentation. I have a quick question for you. As it relates to this device, in comparison to moxibustion? Is it equivalent,
Very good
superior, or simply more convenient?
Very good question. Moxibustion, I studied moxibustion a lot when I started this, because moxibustion has the same idea. The moxa in July of the right after rainy season, they get a tremendous amount of sun rays, and then they dry it up and they make it a ball and put it on the skin and it matches, it heats. Now, moxibustion is 5,000 years old, came from Tibet originally, and did not flourish in China. It went to Japan, and it was the only method, holistical method, we were healing ourselves. And this is a part of moxibustion, is the number one, you remember I say the vibration. And then number two is the heat. So moxibustion had a heat and a vibration together. So it was very successful. In fact, when I went to Tibetan Children Orphanage, I found Dr. Hara. Dr. Hara's study is tremendous. Nobody knew about Dr. Hara. I went to Fukuoka, in southern Japan, and then I found this much of his researches, and in it was how to cure, how to go spot for the tuberculosis.
Okay,
and
one more question, comment, Dr. Chandler.
yeah.
Hello there.
Why don't I take this?
My mother taught me that there is no such thing as good tasting medicine, and there always may be a side effect. And
There is absolutely no side effect. I'm sorry to interrupt, but since we have not much time, there is absolutely no side effect, except that if you don't stop it when they say ouch, we count. It's an amount of time is the time that you can burn. So 1, 2, 3 cancer, ouch, then I take it off. And then you have a special method of breathing, and then you can go next time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then next time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and eventually it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 5 seconds. You cannot do more than 5 seconds 3 times.
Okay.
I have to teach all these things when you buy the machine.
Yes. So the thing is that the benefit, whatever the outcome may be, overrides the risk, and that's what matters. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
one more.
right here.
This is really a quickie. I'm a hematologist interested in, you said the differential percentages of the white blood cells changed, and that was impressive. Is there any other part of the blood that you studied that changed?
No, I only, this is about a balance of sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Okay.
So if you have a balanced parasympathetic, sympathetic, Dr. Abo's theory is you have a very strong immune system. And the immune system is starting healing. In fact, this stage 4 cancer people, I showed you one of the melanoma cases, that they couldn't touch this area. It was so bad that they did only the second method of balancing sympathetic and parasympathetic. That's all they did. And it healed. Because we all have a healing power.
Okay, we have.
Yeah.
What is the cost of your device? And not that it's important, but I'm curious if it has any FDA clearance.
The cost is $1,530, which is a practically wholesale price. And I'm trying to teach the person who buys this, because this is the energy of the sun, energy of the earth. So we are using with some kind of a godly energy. So we have to know how to meditate so that you can tap in yourself into this machine. And if you open up a machine and try to analyze it scientifically, maybe you don't find anything. But vibration is there together with your universal energy, with
Okay.
you going.
FDA clearance or
FDA clearance is
as a medical device?
No medical device.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely last question. We have to move